Podcast is kind of like it's like a radio show that's not on the radio. It's on the internet. Does that make sense? Uh-huh. Yeah. That's also like my mom. It makes it sound more confusing, doesn't it? It sounds like this.
Use promo code RPP for your Blue Chew 10% off discount. This is Garrett Rongey, and welcome to Rock Paper Podcast.
Rock Paper Podcast.
This is beat paper, paper covers rock. Rock beats is the Shane covers non-stop. Never know what new kind of guests that he's got coming at you. Live and direct on the spot. Could be rock, folk, country, or hip-hop, jazz. All kind of folks that he has. Could be an artist or a comedian to make you laugh on the
Rock Paper Podcast.
double-decker fudge round, rolling round town. Shane coming at you live and direct from ground zero. He's your hero, he's your bestie. Rock Paper Podcast with Shane Presley.
Rock Paper Podcast.
Hey everybody, Shane Presley here, Rock Paper Podcast, coming to you from St. Louis, Missouri. Hanging out tonight with returning guest, Garrett Rongey.
Four Timers Club.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I might have to like get a jacket like SNL or something. Like
Yeah,
that.
it's like I was hoping that you had a jacket for me tonight, but it's all right.
All right. There was speaking of that, Ryan Gosling just hosted, and for his commercials, promoting and stuff.
Hail Mary, Project Hail Mary.
Yeah, I mean the commercials they were cutting with the cast before Saturday.
Oh yeah.
He one of them was he was did all this stuff that he went and got the 5-timer jacket, and he goes out and he's being pushing all the cast off, and he's really Hollywooding it up and stuff, smoking a cigar in the back and all this. And, and he gets out there and Mikey's like, "Hey, this is only your 4th time hosting." And he's like, "Oh, oops." He's like, so it was just he's like, "Yeah, take the jacket off, man."
I have to check that out. That sounds pretty funny.
Yeah, it was just good that, he was changed now that he's the 5-timer. So he's
5-timer, He got a big hit about it.
Yep.
Yeah. Me and Maggie actually went and saw that movie Saturday, this past Saturday. It was the day after it came out.
Yeah.
It's a good movie.
You enjoyed it?
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. It's definitely a movie that you want to see in the movie theaters.
Yeah.
I think if you watched it at home, it might be a little disappointing unless you have a whole surround sound, big screen, stuff like that. There's a lot of open, really colorful stuff, a lot of sound kind of driven stuff that kind of hits you when you see it in the actual movies, at the movie theater. It was good. It was good. And for some reason you're just rooting for this Rock the entire time. I was like, are they bringing back the pet Rock? That's his sidekick basically through the whole movie is this rock person.
Right.
And so it's I was like, how are they gonna monetize that? They're just gonna have an action figure of a rock that they're gonna sell to kids, I kept on thinking that as the movie was going on,
right.
But you really feel for the Rock, and at the end you're just like, oh man, I hope everything's fine with that Rock. His name's Rocky, but it's man, I hope Rocky's doing all right.
I didn't realize it's a book.
It's the guy who wrote the Martian, which is the movie that Matt Damon did, which is that movie was good. It's long. This movie's long too, but it's good if you like kind of sci-fi mixed with a little bit of mystery, just kind of regular, it's like watching a novel basically. It feels like they took a lot of it from the novel, which is cool. So
the last two I went to see in the theater, we just watched Hoppers. That's my wife's maiden name, so it's like, so we had to, you know.
Yeah,
it's like,
had to do it.
all right. And that one was a lot of fun. It was really, really well done. I mean, all those, you know, Disney animationists, I mean, they always nail it.
Yeah, I'm about to probably have to watch a lot more Disney movies than I've watched in a long time.
Yeah.
So.
And then we just watched Zootopia 2 now that it's on Hulu or whatever, Disney Plus, and so we watched that, and I really enjoyed that too. It was like there's a ton of like little Easter egg kind of things in there.
Yeah.
All like all the celebrities, the cast, all these voices and stuff. Like, there's a lot of people that have very small like cameo things, like, and so it's funny to see like who voiced some of these characters and things.
Yeah, the funny thing, you saying that kind of reminds me of an interview I heard with David Cross, and David Cross is like one of my favorite just comedians in general, writers, or whatever you want to call it, comedian, writer. Because Mr. Show's like that plays like a big part in my life, and I go back and I watch Mr. Show and Bob Dave, all that, quite a bit more than I probably should. But I remember him talking to, it might have been Marin or somebody else, but he goes, it's so funny because like there's people that go to my shows and see like my actual comedy act, which is totally different than the movies that he does. Or, I mean, even, Tobias on Arrested Development or whatever. And he's like, it's just so weird. It's like, cause these parents, they like know me and how I think and stuff, and then their kids know me as being part of the Chipmunks.
Right. Yeah, sure.
Which is crazy because if you ever like watch a comedy special of him, he's the furthest thing from the wholesome thing from the Chipmunks as you can get,
Yep.
So
he, I saw him in town at Del Mar Hall, and
oh, that's awesome.
And it was a great time. I've seen him twice now, and it's always.
When did you see him? What year was the last time you saw him?
Del Mar Hall, maybe last year.
Oh, last year. Okay,
I think
so. I haven't seen that. So it's probably that special he put out not too long ago. I haven't seen that one because he put it out online.
It was fun, but like I didn't like the way that the Del Mar Hall did it, where more like a rock club, like where we stood the whole time. So it was like it's the first comedy show I've ever been to where I had to stand.
Yeah, you had to stand. Yeah,
so that was different for sure. But.
That's always kind of a weird thing.
Yeah.
Like, the last comedy show I went and saw Nate Bargatze. Actually, it was basically for Maggie's birthday. It was last year.
Yeah.
All right, maybe 2 years ago. No, I guess it would be last year. He just released that special not too long ago. It was right before he released the special.
Yeah.
And so I literally saw the special, him do it. And then like a couple weeks later, he released the special and we watched it on Netflix. And it's like, I literally just saw that. Like I knew where all the jokes were going there. And some of them changed and all that. It's kind of neat to see that. But yeah, like sitting down and like going to a comedy show, it just seems like it's it makes more sense to do that. You know?
Yeah.
Standing up, it's like you ready to maybe like fight somebody.
Sure. Yeah. He made
start moving around.
He made jokes about it, like about a mosh pit, like breaking out in the middle, and stuff like that. Like,
while he's telling a joke.
So I don't know. But it was good. I mean, like he's just one of my favorites, man. I remember, of course I watched Mr. Show but Run, Ronnie, Run is like one of my favorite things.
Man.
Like, and
that movie,
I've introduced it to so many of my friends, like way back in the day. Like
that was my favorite. That was my favorite character of his on that show. Probably my most favorite character on Mr. Show was Ronnie.
Yeah, it
was just so spot on. He just encapsulated so many people that I grew up with.
Yeah, it's one of those I quote like a lot still. Like it's just like for whatever reason made a big impact on my life and stuff. But yeah, man, Pretty silly stuff for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But yeah, man, we've been hanging out here tonight, having a good time. I thought this would be cool to catch up with you. We've been a little bit since we've done one of these. I think as far as Garrett's solo episodes, it's been since 21. We did 2020 and 2021.
Yeah, 2021.
And then
there was one, I guess technically it's 5 times of us doing a podcast, because one of them was with us on when I was doing my podcast. You came over.
Yeah.
I went to your house and we did the podcast over there.
Yeah.
With you. And then, I think the last time it was just me and you. We were in that place down off of Washington Avenue.
Yeah, a tiny bar or something.
Yeah, tiny bar.
Yeah.
That was a cool venue. That was it was a cool time.
Yeah.
It was a nice place. I never go down that way, so I don't know if that place is still around.
I think it closed. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a bummer.
But I'm sure the space is still there. But I don't think, as far as being a bar, I think it's closed.
Yeah.
And then you were on in 24 with Nick Gusman, the Coyotes.
The infamous podcast where Tony said some inappropriate things, but we forgave him and we let him, for those who want to deep dive and go back and listen to that, and they can hear all the things that Tony said that I definitely never said. And it was all Tony that said everything, but, he had a couple quotes in there that I was just like, I can't believe you're saying that, Tony. But, right. That was the last time. Yeah, it's been a minute. It's been a minute since I've done anything in the podcast realm, and honestly, I wish, sometimes I kind of want to come back to it, but it's a lot of work, and there's like you put so much work into it. It's just it's crazy.
Well, I went on a pretty good hiatus. I mean, I still occasionally will put them out, but I definitely, with moving and everything else and work, I was working 70, 80 hour weeks and stuff for a while there. So I was like, wow, the show definitely hit pause. And so I wasn't nearly doing what I once did, but
but even if you're doing it every once in a while, you still put them out. You still have a decent amount of
sure,
if you want to call it content. I don't want to be one of those guys, but the amount of content, but you still put out. I mean, even the amount that you put out, it takes a lot of work.
Yeah.
And when you do it, that's what I realized when I was doing it. And that was kind of the thing that when I stopped, I was just I just don't always have the time to do that. And I've thought about bringing it back just to do spooky stuff with me and my wife.
Yeah.
And maybe do it once a year where we just record a couple just talking about paranormal stuff or whatever, or try to get some guests on that might be a medium or somebody that saw a UFO or whatever, I really there's this podcast out there called Monsters Among Us. I go to sleep listening to it. Jeremy, we're at Jeremy's right now. We're recorded here, but Jeremy could tell you on the road, I'll put that on and it's basically coast to coast. People call in. It's I saw a black triangle in the sky and then I lost 3 hours of time. I don't know what happened. I want to talk to people like that. But it's also kind of hard sometimes to find people like that and make sure that it's safe to talk to them, because sometimes people that say that stuff might not be all the way there, So it's a flip of a coin,
Do you have any more recent or encounters of any sort that do you want to share?
I do actually. I do. If Maggie ever listens to this, she's just gonna cringe because I called her right after this happened. But so I've been working around the house. I've been trying to get the baby's room ready, all this stuff. And I go into our room, and I didn't have the door closed all the way, and I was going around the room. I was trying to find something. I don't remember what I was trying to find, but the door just like slammed open and like went against the wall. And I was like, oh, this is probably the wind, you know, just like a draft or whatever. But then right after that, the door blew shut and closed like hard and just stopped. And it freaked me out for a minute. And I was like, I don't know, did that just really happen? Did that just, you know, it kind of messed with me a little bit. I was like, I called Maggie. It's like, our house is haunted. We got to move. We got to go. It's time to leave. And then I told my dad about it, and he's like, you know, because he's a self-professed, he didn't say he's a medium or anything like that, but he's just like, I could go into a house and tell you if it's haunted or not. And he's like, that house isn't haunted. I've been in that house so many times. It's not haunted. It's like, it's just a draft. And I was like, I didn't have the windows open, the air conditioning on. Like, I don't know how this happened, but it just slammed shut. So now I got both, well, now more than just both Maggie and my dad, but a bunch more people now that probably think I'm absolutely crazy. But,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, I had that happen. And so for the past couple months, I'm just like, you know,
Keeping an eye on it.
you know, yeah, keeping an eye on it. Just being, you know, I make sure the cats are close, you know, because that's the one thing. It's like, aliens don't like cats, apparently. That's what I've heard. I'm not saying that from experience, just what I've heard, read maybe. And ghosts don't like cats either, from what I've heard or read. There's something about cats. They don't mess with cats.
Yeah.
They don't want any part of that. So I just keep the cats close to me. Sometimes I just hold both of them when I go into a room.
Right.
It's like, I got the cats with me. Nothing's going to happen.
Don't mess with me.
Yeah.
We, so I work in this old element. It's not real old, but it's like 30 something years old now or
Yeah.
whatever. But one of the older buildings in our district, and so we just had this conversation the other day because one of our coworkers who retired, she just came back, and we got a new guy that started in her area replacing her. Mm-hmm. And so she's like, do you ever hear anything weird down there? And because she would always claim that there was haunted down there. Yeah. In her hall, like especially this room called this numbered 413, and it's a copy room now and storage and like. Yeah. But she claims that that's where always the weird shit would happen. Like she would hear stuff or the doors closed and all these things like that. Yeah. And so he's only been maybe a month now, and he's like, yeah, there's been some weird things like hearing.
Do kids have legends of the school now? Do you hear?
I don't hear much about the kids, but my boss also, he hears like he's heard kids laughing and stuff and like playing in the hall, and then like nobody's there and that kind of stuff like that.
Sounds like an ancient burial ground.
Yeah, right. So who knows I've been in that building a long time, and I've never had any kind of experience, but he claims to be a little bit more sensitive to these things. So
yeah, maybe he's bringing them in.
Yeah,
you know, he's tracking them in.
But but this like the weird thing that really like stood out in 413 was we every summer, you know, like we move all the furniture out, scrub and wax the floors, and put it back, and then I think it was last summer or something. Like we're moving stuff out, and all of a sudden this like plaque just like falls on the floor, and it's like a memorial dedication to this teacher that passed. And it was like, so now we're like, oh shit, maybe that's who's haunting this room or whatever. Like, it was like it was, what are the odds that the thing that fell happens to be this memorial kind of thing. So it was like. Very makes you think for sure. So. Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it's probably definitely that person's haunted it. It's what it sounds like to me. You know. So, yeah, I don't know. It does kind of mess with my mind when I do go in there because I hear all these stories, but I don't know.
You just never had it happen to you.
I just try to get in and out. I like grab the trash and get out. You know, it's like I don't hang out in there.
Yeah,
But
it's just like, it's time. It's
Yeah.
time. It's like, I just got to make this fast.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I would probably do the same, honestly. Like, I was thinking, I had this dream. I've had this recurring dream past couple weeks where I'm at my old house out on Staunton Road. I grew up out in like the middle of nowhere, pretty much. It was outside of Edwardsville. It was a good couple miles outside of Edwardsville. And it was farmland on one side. There was a prairie on the other side. And, you know, we had like a neighbor or two. But I keep on having these recurring dreams of me looking out of this one window. And we had this one window in our living room that you could look outside to the side of the house. And I keep on having, I don't know why, it's the same exact dream where I look out and I was like, what's that in the sky or whatever? And then like a UFO comes up or whatever and it starts passing by. And I was like, I just seen that. I don't need to see that. And it just like, every time I wake up, I'm like, yeah, I think, you know, I think about like, yeah, I'd like to see a UFO. Like I would like to, you know, in my mind, I'm like, it'd be really cool to see it. Like you have proof, all that stuff. And then I have this dream and always in my dream, it's like, I don't want that. I don't want that. So now I've gotten to the point where it's like, I don't want to see it. You know, maybe my brain's telling me you don't want to see it. Because once you see it, then they probably saw you seeing it. So like, you're definitely on their list now.
You don't want none of this shit, do we?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You don't want none of this. Yeah, ain't that the truth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if you are into spooky stuff, Garrett's podcast is still out there. Yeah. You can still find it on your Spotify and stuff.
Yeah, Garrett talks to himself and sometimes other people. Yeah. There's a couple spooky ones.
Yeah.
There's a couple, you know, a lot of, there's not a whole lot of podcasts, but there's a handful that you can listen to. And probably the best one, the two best ones I ever had was, you hooked me up with the D&M Paranormal.
Yeah.
They were great.
Yeah,
and I still stay in contact with them. They are like, you know, really, really nice people. And I still talk to them every once in a while, online and stuff. And, you know, it was really great meeting them. And then, that podcast is pretty great. And then the other one would be, talking to Dana, to my old buddy Dana, and him just telling his ghost stories of living above this tavern in Granite they worked at. And they had all these spooky stories. He had spooky stories all the time. That was like kind of the thing that got us like, that really kind of bonded us, as we liked talking about spooky stuff. Like he always wanted to talk about spooky stuff. He always wanted to talk about hauntings or aliens or whatever. And he used to come over to the house. He'd come over to the house a couple times a month. Maggie make dinner, and me and him would work on songs at the kitchen table. And honestly, he's the one who got me into singing and you know, and write my own songs and trying to do like more of a songwriter thing on top of, you know, because usually like, you know, if people do know me, there's a lot of people that don't, but the people that do, you know, they usually see me. I play lead guitar for Nick Gusman and other people like Poor Dirty Astronauts and just like hired gun for a lot of people. But he kind of talked to me. He's like, you have a lot of stories. You need to just start trying to write songs. And I was like, well, I can't sing. And he's like, you can sing. He's like, I've heard you sing along with me and stuff. It's like, you can do it. He just kind of kept on pushing me. And then I ended up writing this song called Trucker. That's on the last Gusman record.
Just
that was kind of like the thing that like sparked it. And he goes, you did that one. Now you could do another one. Like,
All right.
and another one and all that. He just kept on pushing me to do it. And he was really like the catalyst for me to like keep on writing. And Nick was that way too. Cause like at first I was like, Nick, I wrote this song and you have somebody that just plays guitar in your band and doesn't like, kind of roll your eyes a little bit. Like, I definitely got the feeling that it's like, yeah, we'll check it out or whatever. And then I played it for him and he goes, oh, that's actually a cool song. It's kind of funny song or whatever. And it became this thing. And then what ended up happening is, just like with Dana, Nick was the same way. He's like, you need to keep on writing stuff. And it just kind of pushed me to do this whole other thing that pushed me out of my comfort zone and actually gave me like a whole different way of like expressing myself and telling stories without just, cornering somebody at a gig and telling them some random story, like now I have a record, a record of some of the crazy things,
I don't think I realized that was like the first song you wrote. That
Yeah, it was I had written other songs as like a kid and stuff like that, but they were all like dumb, kind of cringy, like, and that like turned me off because I'd show it to my friends and they give me a hard time about it. And there's like one specifically, I don't even want to think about that. I wrote and we tried to record it in my buddy's basement. He had like an old like computer from like the early 90s. Somehow he got it to like rig up to like a 4-track recorder and he recorded this thing. We tried to do it and then we listened back to it. And it was like so bad. And it just kind of like turned me off of even trying to write lyrics or anything. But yeah, no, Trucker was like, I would say Trucker's like the first real song that I wrote that actually got finished. And I was like, okay, that could be an all right song. Like, it's not anything that's going to win me a Grammy or anything, but like, I feel like it has a truthfulness about it. And the whole thing about that song too is it came from a real experience. It came from a couple real experiences, like there was a guy I worked at a gas station off the highway and, this dude came in one morning and he was all sweaty and out of his mind. And he's like, you got to call the local cops. You got to call the local police. And we were like right off the highway. It's like, why don't we call the state cops? And like, you got to call the local police. I don't trust the state cops or whatever. And he basically told us that the FBI and the state cops and the CIA, they pulled by his truck and shot his window out and threw a big bag of meth in there and then some kind of smoke bomb to like try to incapacitate him. But he's like, I just kept on driving. I got through it. I rolled my windows down and I got here. Well, turns out that was actually apparently he was tweaking, and there was a soccer mom that was driving next to him trying to take her kids to a soccer game on Saturday morning, and he thought it was the CIA or the FBI or whatever. And so we're like, yeah, we're definitely calling the police. But before we even called the police, state cops came because she had called the police. Right. And they just pulled out this giant bag of meth straight out of the front of his truck, and he went to jail for probably a long time. I mean, in the song he dies, but he's still alive somewhere. I mean, yeah. But he's it's
based on a true story.
It's partially based on a true story. Yeah. And then and there's a couple other lines that are based on kind of true things. I do have an Uncle Mike, and Uncle Mike did go to prison for a little while, for a long while, and there's just like little hints in there that like some family members are like, oh yeah, I remember when this happened, or I know you're talking about, or whatever. Sure. So it's I find it's a lot easier to like write about things like that are closer to you or closer to your experience or the way that I tell a story to somebody.
Yeah. Well, you can find Trucker on the Nick Gusman and the Coyotes record.
Lifting Heavy Things.
Lifting Heavy Things.
Yeah,
And then that's on your wherever you get your digital music at, and you can hear Garrett's guitar work all over that record. And yeah, man, I love that record, and
I appreciate
it's a lot of fun.
That was a fun record to record.
Yeah,
we pretty much did most of it in pretty much a day. And like split into like 2 days, pretty much.
Yeah,
and we did it all live. We did it all together as the band. We wanted to record it live, so most of it, there's a little bit that has an extra track or two added on, but the main core of it is just all of us in a room playing the song together, and Nick's in a booth singing and playing guitar. Yeah, so that was a real fun time.
Yeah. Well, hopefully get the band on a bunch of shows here soon, and
for sure.
we'll get some fun announcements and things. So keep an eye out. Find Nick Gusman and the Coyotes on your socials, and get plugged in and come out to a show and see Garrett live. But we have a Garrett Rongey solo show coming up, which you kind of alluded to a little bit there. This is kind of a big celebration. We are it's Garrett Rongey and the Illinois 2?
Yeah, Garrett Rongey and Illinois 2.
And that's going to be at Venice Cafe on April 9th, on Thursday night, 9 p.m. start. Kicking it off with Jeremy Reedy.
Igor Death.
Yeah, Igor Death. And but this is a diaper party. You and Maggie are expecting...
Maggie is with child, as I like to say.
Yeah.
She doesn't like when I say that, but she's with child.
Congrats, man! I'm really excited for you too.
I appreciate that. It's quite an experience, that's for sure.
Yeah.
First time father, so it's pretty crazy. A lot of crazy things happening all at once, but yeah, I mean, it'll be a fun show, and people, if people want to come out, they can easily bring diapers if they want to. They don't have to bring diapers, but if they want to bring diapers, infant diapers, diapers for a couple different months of the baby's age, it's something that I learned is there's different diapers for different months of when the baby's alive, that they have different sizes. I just thought it was like kind of a small, medium, large kind of deal, but apparently not. So yeah, if you want to come out and bring out some diapers, you can, but if not, you can just come out and listen. Venice is a great place to go listen to just music in general. It is a cash bar, just in case anybody has never been to Venice. That's usually the big surprise for a lot of people is, it is a cash place. So,
they do have an ATM though. So.
Yeah, they do have an ATM down in the basement. So, you can always go down there and
if you need
do
it.
that. And, and I got to give it to Chad and Jeff and all those guys. And, Chad books a lot of stuff there, and I kind of came up with this idea, and I was like, hey, would it be possible to do this? And Chad was like, yeah, we'll do it. Just like send me what you want to send me, and we'll get it going, and we'll promote it a little bit and all that. So, they've always been really, really good to me and really nice to me. And, I kind of have a once a month thing that I do there. And so this is the once a month that I do in April, it just so happens to be on a Thursday, which is a little easier for people to get out, so I'm excited about it. It's going to be fun. I'm going to play a bunch of my songs that I've written, and then a bunch of songs that I haven't. There's going to be a lot of guitar wanking, That's that'll be fun. But it'll be good to get to play my songs with a band, and
who you got? Zach?
Yeah, Zach Clark's playing bass, and then Jeremy Reedy's playing drums.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those are the Illinois 2. And technically, Jeremy lives in St. Louis, but he's an Illinois boy as well. Yeah. So that's why I call it the Illinois 2. We're all Illinois boys at heart, even though Jeremy probably doesn't want to admit that, but I love the state of Illinois, and I'll stand by that for the rest of my life. But
hopefully the patio's open too. We can go out there and enjoy the.
Who knows about that? I can't speak to that part of it,
but hopefully by then it's warm enough we can. But you never know what Jeff has planned. But
you never know.
But I love that patio, and so really a fun space out there.
Yeah, it's a great place, and even when you're inside, it's a great place. Yeah. In the past couple of times I played there, like it's kind of crazy because there's a lot of like, I guess TikTokers. I sound like an old man, but like TikTokers that like come in and they want to see the bathroom up in the top part of the place because if you ever seen the bathroom up there, it's crazy.
Yeah. I don't know if I've been to that one upstairs. I've been downstairs.
Yeah, the upstairs bathroom is wild.
All right.
It's like carpeted. There's like, it's like raised. The toilet's like raised up.
Oh yeah, I've seen pictures. Yeah.
It's like its own thing. It's really just kind of wild. But everything else in there, like and who knows if the upstairs will be open or not. But the place in general is just wild. There's just like stuff to look at.
Yeah, it's a one of a kind stop for sure. No matter what night you go, but you're going to hear some great music. But
sure.
April 9th will be a good one for sure. Come on out and throw some dollars in the tip jar and bring some diapers if you can, and support
this baby ain't cheap.
Support the Rongeys, But man, I'm really really happy for you too. It's gonna be fun to see you two be parents, and
I appreciate
excited.
That. I'm scared shitless, but I appreciate it.
Sure. I haven't. I wish I had some kind of thing, but advice or whatever. But like, I think anything else is just like you just kind of got to get in there and learn for yourself. I think it was somebody. Pete Davidson said recently on. Fallon, not Leno, on Fallon that he said he was talking to Eddie Murphy when he was expecting his first kid or something, and Eddie Murphy goes, "Nobody can tell you how to raise your kid, man. You got to learn for yourself. What your kid. Everyone's different, so they all, So
I believe that. That's pretty much the advice I've gotten from a lot of people. It's like, you'll figure it out.
Yeah. So I just thought it was nice to. I mean, Eddie knows a thing about raising babies. He's
got quite a few.
He's got a bunch of them. Yeah.
Got quite a few.
Yeah. Well, let's play a song you might hear that night. We played a couple of live acoustic tunes here today. You want to start with 30-ton freight?
Yeah. Let's do 30-ton freight. Yeah.
This sounded great in the room here. With big thanks again to Jeremy letting us use his space. Yeah. But what do you want to tell us about 30-ton freight?
I wrote this song after watching a couple train kids. I guess is the best way I can describe it. I was going to visit some family down in Granite, and I'd stopped somewhere and by the train tracks, and there was these kids riding like one of them BMX bikes with the pegs, and they were fighting over who got to stand on the front pegs, who got to stand on the back pegs, and who had a pedal. They're like, because if you're pedaling, you got the shit job because you have two other people that you're pedaling for. And I guess the back guy's like kind of pushing a little bit. It didn't work out. Like, I don't think they ever got that bike going. But it just got me thinking about, when you're a kid, sometimes you think about leaving home. I'm gonna get away from this. I'm gonna get away from my family, and then it got me thinking about, well, eventually you get so far away that that you want to come back, and you realize kind of what you missed with it, and that there's other things in the world that you don't expect when you decide that you want to. In this case, hop trains. So I guess that's the story of it.
Yeah. All right. Check out 30-Ton Freight live on Rock Paper Podcast.
We'll ride this freight down the line just to get where I'm going. Just hoping I don't catch myself or sorted past. It's been 10 years since I came home just to find my truth. I'm a 30-ton freight hopping son of a gun, traveling on through. We'll smell that coal burning up, feel a rumble on the tracks. There's nothing better than a boxcar ride, said the traveler in the back. I hopped my first car, left home at 17. I'm a 30-ton freight hopping son of a gun. This is my life's legacy. If you ride these rails long enough, you'll meet a friend like mine. It's nice to have the company till they show you their dark side. Well, they'll take all you have and leave you for dead. Well, there's no honor in hopping res or trusting train kids. Beat up, bloody, and destitute, not far from my home. I wonder if Ma and Pa still live in town. I put my past aside just to swallow my pride. I'm a 30-ton freight hopping son of a gun, lucky to be alive.
I know you've done a record, solo record in the past.
The jazz record.
Yeah. Is this something you think might lead to a songwriting record? I mean, like, would you want to do that?
Yeah, no, that's the plan. Like, I already have tracks set down of that tune and a couple other ones. Me and Jeremy have done together. I just have to kind of record some other parts to it. I'm still like debating on if I'm going to make it just purely acoustic record or if I'm going to add in some electric guitar and stuff like that. But by the end of the year, I would, whether it just be something that I release on SoundCloud or something I actually release on Spotify and streaming platforms. I haven't gotten that far with the decision of that yet, but I'm definitely trying to get some of this out by the end of the year, and just go from there. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. Like a lot of it just comes down to I don't know if you heard the cat there, but a pretty little kitty just walking around, just meowing up a storm, just wants to get pet. But
you want to be on the pod?
Yeah. Christina's cat's gonna be on the pod. So But yeah, so it's just
We were talking about kitties earlier.
yeah, kitties are the best. Yeah, this one's all just wants attention.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this is not a visual medium, so a lot of people can't see that there's a cat.
It's great radio.
Just, it's a great radio moment right here. Cat's just climbing all over Shane here and just having a good time,
Made a new
getting
friend.
pets, and just wants to have some attention.
Yeah.
Wants to be paid attention. But overall, like I'm planning by the end of the year to at least release some of this stuff, either as just singles or maybe like a little EP or something.
Yeah.
And then go from there with it. I got quite a few songs now. Like I have enough to to make a record, I guess, if I wanted to, but I'm just kind of taking it easy and taking it as it goes. So I'm just taking my time with it, and I've changed a lot of lyrics, I've changed a lot of parts and stuff, and I just wanted to kind of sound as good as I can make it sound in the time being right now. So we'll see which ones come out, which ones don't, and the ones that don't, they'll come out later. So
Yeah. Well, nice, man. This sounded great, and I look forward to hearing what else you got in store. Do you you did one I think you sent me like a demo of another one, right? That some stuff you're working on.
yeah, I sent you. Yeah,
You got like kind of your.
yeah. I have one I wrote a little while ago, not too long ago, but it's called "Ain't Nobody Gonna Stop You Now," which is kind of a bittersweet song for me. But it was just kind of a song that I wrote a while back ago about things that my dad taught me, that and also my mom, but like stuff that my dad taught me that that I wanted to convey to a child. Sure. and all that. And it came at a very hard time when I wrote it. Like after I got done writing it, and some things happened, and kind of gave it a little bit of a different meaning. But I really like the song, and it's something that I'm still working on. You're not going to hear it today, but on the podcast at least. But
it's a beautiful song, and I only really bring that up because I do think that and I think it would be good for you to explore that vein more. And I'm interested to hear how the little one is going to impact your writing, and that kind of stuff. Of what maybe soften up Garrett Rongey and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Like most of my songs now, people just die at the end. So,
but
most of my songs are about drug addiction and people robbing banks and and just being alone and stuff like that. But this is something that I was like, oh, this is actually somewhat an uplifting thing, and I've thought the same thing that you just brought up. Like, I don't know how it's going to change it, but I know when I do have this, when we do have this kid, like it definitely will change. It will change me. It'll definitely change Maggie. It'll change all of us, and it'll change my perspective on the world, and it'll probably change the way that I think about writing things, and think about like, well, what kind of, maybe not message so much, but what I want to put out in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Like not always doom and gloom, and maybe something a little bit more positive.
Yeah.
So,
but I think there's room for it all. Like I think there's like people, I've been around enough songwriters. A lot of them like talk about how it's good for them. It's, a therapeutic type of thing where they can get these, thoughts out and put it into a song. It's not always that they're it's not that they live their life that way, doom and gloom, but it's like it's good to just write these things and put them out, and so
yeah, for sure. And I could tell you, for instance, a lot of times, like the songs that I have written, not that I'm like prolific by any means, like, but the songs that I have written have come from either an experience that I had or something that's just popped into my head that was something I've said to myself during the day because I'm dealing with something, and I find it very therapeutic, and it gets me through. It makes things a little bit easier,
right,
to deal with. There's certain songs that, there's this one that I have about this guy robbing. It happened. It's called "Broke Again Blues," but it's about this guy that robbed a bank with a bicycle and this happened when I was younger. When I was like in my early 20s, this guy robbed a couple banks and got away with a bicycle. He didn't have a driveway, a getaway car. He had a bicycle, and they couldn't catch him for a while. But I was just thinking, one day I was at the time, this was a couple of years ago now, but I was real hard up, and I needed some, I needed some cash flow or something. And I was just like, man, like I get why that guy used the bicycle. He couldn't afford the gas for the car, like he needed to do what he needed to do to get by and try to get away with it and maybe have a little bit more peace or a little bit more peace of mind. It didn't work out that way for him, but at the end of it all, but yeah, it's kind of crazy. Like there's just like little things like that like come and get at you sometimes. So.
Yeah. It's something I think about a lot, and I don't know. I need to hold I've said it on this podcast probably the last 12 years I've been doing this show, but I need to just sit down and do it and like write something but I think I get so nervous about it, like kind of like what you were talking about, that story with your friend when you were early on, that you're afraid of it not being any good, and so it's like those kind of thoughts, like I'm like, but also like I hear so many songs, so it's like when I do go to write, like it's just everybody else's lyrics that come out, like, so it's hard for me to like,
I get that,
be something original. So I think I have some ideas and stories that I'd like to convey in song and stuff like, and I think it would help me process some of the shit that I've been.
Yeah, and that's something that we talked about, just like off the pod. Like we talked about this, like just having like journaling stuff. Like right. I write something every day, and it might not be song lyrics. It just might be a thought that I have, or it might be like a poem, or it might be like a short little bit of a story or whatever. But I try to do it every day, and I feel like it kind of keeps me sane in a way, because it gives me like a little bit of break. It gives me a break from everything else that's going on around me, Right. So, I'd say do it, and just do it. And that's the other thing too. It's like, I'm definitely not the person to talk about by any means about songwriting in general, but like, most of them are not going to work out. Most of them are going to be crappy, and you throw it away, but then you might get one line out of one, and you save it. Like I have a wrecking yard. I have a scrap yard full of songs that I've written that are all on my phone.
Yeah. For
the past couple of years, that I'll go back to and be like, well, I always liked this line, but the rest of it didn't make any sense. It's convoluted, or I'm being preachy, or this or that or the other. But I really like this one line. And usually what happens is that one line sticks with me.
Yeah.
And I guess one of the best ones that that kind of made me realize that was, there was one that me and Dana wrote together called Bad Luck. And, it came from me talking to Hunter Peebles. We were with Nick, and Hunter was on tour with us over in Oklahoma. It was a couple of years back. And I had fallen in the shower. And it was after I played this gig and all this stuff. And Maggie was asleep, and I in the shower is like connected right to her bedroom. And I got done with this gig. I went in and we had this mat that was really slippery, and if water got under it, it would just slide out. And I got done taking a shower, and it got out, and the mat slid out, and I just totally just busted my ass on this tile floor, and I'm just in agony. I'm just like, and I'm like, Maggie. And she hates when I tell this story, but she slept all the way through it, and eventually I just like got up, and I finally like got up to my feet, and I just kind of like stumbled into the bed and just like laid in the bed and just like fell asleep that way. I was like, just like wet in the bed. But I don't remember what started the conversation, but I was telling Hunter that, and I was like, I don't know, man. I guess sometimes my life's like, I'm sorry I'm telling you all these stories about how like I've hurt myself. I've had these accidents and stuff like that. I guess my life's just like a cautionary tale. And Hunter's like, you need to save that. Your life's a cautionary tale. He's like, that's a good line. That's a good line. And I ended up telling Dana that, like a week or two later, he came over to the house and we were working on songs and stuff. And I was like, I have this idea for the song. And I played some chords and stuff. I was like, I don't know what to write. And then we got to talking, and I told him that whole story about, what I just told you, and told him what Hunter said. And he goes, that's a great line. He goes, why don't we just try to write a song about falling in the shower? And that's literally what we did. And so, if you ever hear that song, like the good parts are Dana, and the one or two other parts are me. It's just like, it's things like that. I think that's the perfect example of it. That's what kind of like showed me like, hey, sometimes when you're having a conversation with somebody and you say something, it just kind of comes out of the blue. Keep that in your head, and then keep it in your head as long as possible before, till you can get somewhere to like write it down or type it down or whatever on your phone or whatever.
Right.
Just to like have it there, because it might turn into something later. You never know. It's just a fragment of an idea, but that one ended up blossoming into a full idea. So, yeah.
Nice, man.
Yeah. Every time I tell a story about how I've hurt myself, well, these scars have made me tougher through and through. Broken glass, broken bone, always trying to find home. No place on earth is safe enough to roam. In my darkest times, I'm trapped here in my mind. Bad luck has hope in me. A curse or a blessing, bad luck keeps me guessing. Always on my toes or on my back. I don't eat, I can't sleep. Sometimes I'm afraid to leave. Never know if I'll be coming back. In my darkest times, I'm trapped here in my mind. Bad luck has hope in me. Saw a log truck on the highway, said he ain't coming my way. I pulled aside and let him roll on by. I ain't taking any chances when death calls to dance. I'll take his hand and lead him right outside. In my darkest times, I'm trapped here in my mind. Well, bad luck has hope in me. My whole life has been a cautionary tale. Runaway train rolling down the tracks. You can't stop it, you can't fight it. All you can do is ride it. When bad luck takes the conductor's hat. In my darkest times, I am trapped here in my mind. Well, bad luck has hope in me. Well, in my darkest times, I am trapped here in my mind. Well, bad luck has hope in me.
Well, you mentioned co-writing "Bad Luck" with Dana, and unfortunately we lost him a while back, and that was definitely a huge blow for a lot of us and around here. We were, of course, a friend and fan and stuff, but he, I'm glad that it's the kind of the beauty of music that at least these songs will live on, and we can keep telling these stories about them and share these songs and stuff. But
I still, I play the only one I can kind of somewhat do, I guess, not justice of, but it's the only one I can do that I can get through the song and not make it sound absolutely horrible. It's like 3 DUIs. So, yeah, which is
a banger.
Yeah. Oh man, I love that tune so much, and I actually have, the crazy part about that song is, before Dana passed, I asked him if it's something I kind of want to learn this song and try to play it myself. Would you be okay with that? And he's like, yeah. He goes, that's awesome. Yeah, definitely do that. And I was like, can you send me the lyrics that you have for it? And so I've always had the recording of it, which actually, funny enough, that Full Grown Child record, that was recorded with Matt Meyer, Poor Dirty Astronauts. He recorded the whole record.
Nice.
He did it down where we actually recorded that new record. I guess we'll talk about here in a minute. But he's like, yeah, I'll send you the. He's like, yeah, I'll send you the lyrics. So he sends me the lyrics. I like telling this story because it just speaks to who Dana was, because he was never necessarily content with what he wrote. If he could write something new and make something better even after he recorded it, he would do that. And he would change the lyrics constantly to tunes that he'd written years and years before, and he'd be like, nah, that doesn't work. I'm going to do this now, or whatever. And he didn't care about the recording or anything. He's like, when I play this tune, this is what I'm going to sing. So he sends me that, and I started working on it. And around that time, Dana had passed, and, and we had this thing in Granite where we were going to pay tribute to him, and Nick and, Jeremy and all of us were a part of it. And I was like, I'm going to do 3 DUIs. Nobody's picked that song. I was like, that's the one out of all of them. I can at least try to do that one. So I start going through the lyrics again and all that. And I was listening to the actual part of I was actually listening to the recording of it. And I was like, this doesn't match up at all. And he had rewritten half of the tune in the lyrics that he sent me, because that at the time was what he was like, this doesn't work anymore. I'm going to rewrite half of this tune. And never told me that, was just like, here you go. Here's the lyrics to it or whatever. So when I was trying to get it to the point where I could actually do it and at least do it some justice or a little bit of justice, I'm like, this doesn't match up at all. This doesn't so I ended up learning it from the record, because he had all these extra lines in the other part. And still to this day, I try to learn the other lines, but there's like so much extra stuff that he put in there that I'm like, how did he sing that? How did he put all those words in that part? Because when he sings the original part, he doesn't even put that many words in there. Like, how did he? And like, I remember him doing it, and I could kind of remember him singing those parts.
Yeah.
When I would play it with him, but it just kind of speaks to like him in general. Like, he was always seeking something. He was always like trying to like find something that that he could improve, even if it was something that was old and he already did. He's like, well, it still could be improved, and I can still do this better than how I did it a couple of years ago. And it's just kind of wild to me. Like, it's a different kind of person.
You still got your guitar. I don't want to put you on the spot, but do you think you could? Would you want to do like a verse chorus of 3 DUIs or skip it?
I could try it. Yeah. I'm not going to promise you that it's going to sound any good, but I could try it.
Yeah. Worst case, we cut it out.
I have to do it in a completely different key than him because I can't sing it as well as he does.
Yeah.
But
I think it'd be fun.
we'll edit this part out if it doesn't go. But
Nobody will know.
yeah, nobody will know. It's the podcast magic.
Yeah.
All right, you gotta hear some banging on some stuff. I lost what's left of my mind. Work time into the whiskey. I'm just looking for a laugh. Maybe a new girl to miss me. See, I had me a wife, so pretty and nice, but that's over. She only loved me at times you could count on one hand. Those were the times I was sober. When I woke from my coma, she had fire in her eyes. The cops cuffed my hands to the bed at my side. We had to empty the bank and sell her sweet ride. Well, she had enough after 3 DUIs. I'm with my so-called friends down at the end of my street. A place called the Dewdrop Inn, a good place for bad folks to be. See, I totaled my car, leaving this bar in a hurry. My woman had phoned, said it's time to come home 'cause she worries. It's about a block and a half, so I stepped on that gas like a spider. A cab crossed my path, so I swerved to the left. When that was the last I remember. When I woke from my coma, she had fire in her eyes. The cops cuffed my hands to the bed at my side. We had to trade her sweet home for a single wide. Well, she had enough after 3 DUIs. I can't say that I blame her, even though I'm a stranger, please listen. Guys, don't go to the bars, then get in your cars. Go home to your girlfriends and wives. You don't care what I say, it won't change your ways, just remember. If pussy crosses your path, you just step on that gas and get home to your own sweet lover. When I woke from my coma, she had fire in her eyes. The cops cuffed my hands to the bed at my side. We had a traitor sweet home for a single wide. Oh, she had enough after 3 DUIs. Oh, she had enough after 3 DUIs. She had enough after 3 DUIs. I messed up that last chord, but it's all right. Something like that, yeah. To Dana.
Yeah, man. Yeah, check that out if you can find the studio recordings there on
Dana Michael Anderson.
wherever you get your digital music at now.
Yeah, you just look up Dana Michael Anderson, you'll find it.
Yeah.
Full Grown Child's the record, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
He did that on. So
And that Bottles record's fantastic and everything.
Bottles
So
is great.
yeah. But yeah, man. Thanks for doing that.
Yeah, well, hopefully it turned out all right. We'll see.
Yeah. You mentioned Matt recording that Poor Dirty Astronauts.
Yeah, Matt
and
Meyer, yeah.
you are working on a record with Matt Meyer right now, the new Poor Dirty Astronauts record. So due out here soon this spring.
Yeah,
So
he told me today, April or May, he's getting the masters done right now, and they should be done in the next week or two. So, I believe the record's called Outside In. I'm pretty sure I told you what the record's called, but I'm pretty sure it's called Outside In.
yeah.
But it's really fun, and there's a lot of great players on it. You know, Matt, I like Matt's songwriting. He's just a great songwriter, and you know, he's great friends with Dana, and him and Dana used to just, you know, they play each other's songs, and they used to do duo things together, and Dana always said, it's like, I like doing duo like songwriter sets with Matt because I bring everybody down, and then Matt comes and plays, and he brings everybody up.
Right.
So it's like kind of that salty and sweet, you know,
Sure.
kind of mix of things, and Matt's songs are in a lot of ways very uplifting. I don't know if it's on the record or not, but he's got one that he wrote about Dana that's a really, really sweet song, and I've played it with him a few times, and really, really good. You know, he's just a really good writer, and he just has I like the way that he does things. I don't write the way that he writes, but he always has like great players. You know, Zeb Briskovich on this record, definitely. Zeb Briskovich is on it. Brian May, he's a drummer. He's on it. Great drummer. I think Quentin Twombly's on it as well. Ryan Thompson, Craig Knable. Oh, sorry, Craig. Craig's on it. I was just called Craig, but yeah, he's playing congas on it. I play guitar on it. You know, Ryan's the main guitar player for that band. Ryan Thompson's a really, really great guitar player, and this other guitar player named Aaron Brown, who plays around St. Louis. He plays a lot of jazz and stuff like that, and blues and things like that. And he's a really, really good guitar player. So it's nice to be like on this record with a bunch of other people that are very well equipped to like, you know, just play. And that's the thing about Matt. He's just like, I want you to just do you. He's like, he has no notes other than that sounds good or maybe let's try that again, you know. Yeah. But yeah, he's a he's a really great guy, and I really like playing his music. He's got a lot of really fun songs, and I get to kind of explore a little bit with the ones that I play on that record. I explore a little bit with some spacey sounds with slide guitar and just regular guitar in general, and we just had a lot of fun just doing it at his house. He has got his whole little studio set up in his basement, and then Miles Vanderveer, I think, is the one who's mixing and mastering it, and who's just a great drummer just in general, but he's also really great at just doing audio stuff as well. So I'm really excited for that one to come out. You should definitely have you should definitely talk to Matt sometime, because he's always got killers on his record. He always has people that really know it. And Pete Somerville or Pete Moss, I don't know how you know Pete. Yeah, I know everybody knows Pete a different way. They either know him as Pete Somerville or they know him as Pete Moss. Yeah, old souls, for Pete, sure. He played on that old record that I think I sent you the last record that they did that Pete's on that. He's all over that. Yeah. So he's always got, he's got a good taste for like guitar players, like besides me, but everybody else, he's got sure. good taste for those. Like, yeah, let's try this guy. Let's try and get this guy on. Yeah. So it'll be fun. It'll be good when that comes out.
I posted your picture online and see if people had any questions for you. And a young man by the name of Nick Gusman wrote in. He said, we're going to need that salsa recipe.
It's literally what he's outside right now.
Yeah.
He's outside. He's banging on the door asking for it. No, he really is outside.
Yeah.
I give you a salsa recipe. You want it?
Sure.
You want it? Okay. So something that people that know me.
What if I just like censored this part?
You can bleep this part out. Yeah, actually, no, that would be great. Yeah. Actually, that's exactly what you should do.
I'll tell you what it is.
Actually, here I'll give you my hot sauce recipe. But my salsa recipe is basically it's something I learned from my grandma, and you can bleep this part out, and I'll give you the hot sauce recipe after that. But I grow everything in my garden. So, I peel the tomatoes, I boil the tomatoes, I add in jalapenos, habaneros, garlic, onion, salt, there's canning salt in it. So I don't add too much salt because the canning salt will give it a little bit more saltiness. I usually like, more salt, less salt's better because you can always add salt. You can't take it out.
Right.
But as far as like, if I was making a pot of it, say I was making a quart pot, I guess, I'd have basically like almost a little bit less than a quart of tomatoes boiling. And then I would add in, probably 5 or 6 jalapenos cut up. Maybe less, depends on how spicy you want it. I usually make it pretty spicy. And then I add like maybe 3 habaneros cut up. I mix that all up. Onion, like a whole onion. Well, actually with that, I probably add like 2 or 3 onions. And I add that in, and I add a good handful of garlic, depending on how much garlic you want. I put that in, and then I put lime. I put lime in there because the lime also helps with the canning process. It also helps kill bacteria and stuff like that. But it also gives it kind of a little bit extra flavor, gives it a little zip. But that's basically what I do for it, and I'm probably forgetting something. Yeah. But I'll tell you this. I'll give you my exact hot sauce recipe that I got it written down.
I also wish you would just said like, it's just chunky old El Paso.
Yeah, it's just chunky. Yeah, that's what I should have said. I say, yeah. Let's see, hot sauce. Okay. Oh, it's the burn. I have 3 different kinds. I have burn your face off. This is hot. It's habanero, pineapple, mango, hot sauce. Burn your face off. Tabasco rice. All right. So my hot Tabasco recipe is 8 cayenne, 15 jalapeno, 5 red jalapeno, 1 to 2 hot peppers. So that means Carolina Reaper or anything of that variety. 6 large cloves of garlic, 1 shallot large, 2 teaspoons of salt, 2 cups of vinegar, 3 cups of apple cider vinegar. And basically what you're going to do is you're going to put that vinegar in, and both those vinegars in. So 2 cups of vinegar, and then you're going to add those 3 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. Put that in with the salt, the shallots, and then everything else, and you're going to let it boil. And you let it boil for, 10, 15 minutes. And then basically after that, you can either do a food processor, or you could do like one of those hand things that blend it up. Definitely wear a mask if you're doing hot peppers, because it will turn into I mustard gassed myself last year quite a few times, where I'm just like choking for like 3 days. I'm like coughing and hacking stuff up because it was just so intense. But then after you blend it up, then you have to have a fine mesh strainer, and you dump that all in the fine mesh strainer back into a bowl, so it gets all the extra particulates, so all the extra pepper parts, so it's not in your hot sauce, and so that the hot sauce is just liquid. And then I strain it 3 times, and then I bring it back to a little bit of a simmer for like another couple minutes, and then I bottle it. I cap off the bottle, and then I put the bottle into a water bath, and that's that. And then it's sealed, and then that should last you a little while. I will say, when I made the hot Tabasco one, I didn't know how it was going to turn. This one was going to turn out. Ended up being like the best one I made. The regular Tabasco is good. Burn your face off was just hot. It didn't have flavor. It was just hot. Right. But the hot Tabasco one, the one that I just gave you the recipe for, that is one of the best tasting hot sauces I've ever made. Or, I'm a Tapatio fan. So if you kind of like Tapatio, it doesn't necessarily have the Tapatio taste, but it has like the heat of the Tapatio. That's basically what I do for it. And then I just bottle it. And, but when I when I gave it to people, everybody ate it like instantly. And they're like, "Do you have more?" I was like, "No, I'm completely out." Like, that was all I made because I didn't want to make too much and nobody wanted it. And I'm just stuck with bad hot sauce,
All right.
So next year, or this season, I'm just growing peppers just to make that blend.
Nice.
Yeah. I'll give you one when I make it. Remind me, I'll give you a bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love cooking and stuff. I've never got into like that kind of making my own hot sauce and salsa and stuff, but
I make salsa verde at least a couple times during the summer. Like, that's one of my favorite salsas to make.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I have to come over to the Rongey house.
Yeah, you get all the salsa you want, and you have to take some home because Maggie's like, "You made too much. We're not going to be able to eat a whole giant bowl of Tapatio or salsa verde in like a week or two. It only lasts so long. So if you want some, you let me know. I'll hook you up, or I'll can it or something.
Yeah. Well, again, join us April 9th. 9 p.m. Venice Cafe in St. Louis, Missouri, for the Rongey Diaper Party featuring Garrett Rongey and the Illinois 2 and special guest Igor Death / Jeremy Rongey.
Jeremy Rongey.
Yeah.
I'm going to call him Jeremy.
Yeah.
Jeremy Rongey. He's my son.
That's my
but-
son.
even though he's older than me.
Don't ever talk to me and my son again.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be a fun night, and like I said, anytime you can get into Venice is always a good time. But so yeah, man, I'm really excited, and I can't wait to meet Baby Rongey.
Yeah, I can't wait for you to meet Baby Rongey either. It's going to be a surprise, so we'll see. Boy or girl, who knows? Start taking your bets.
Yep.
DraftKings. The baby's sponsored by DraftKings, by the way. So
use promo code Rock Paper Podcast.
Yeah. You can get yourself in on a parlay.
Yeah.
That was the other thing I forgot to mention on here. I have some supplements that I've been slinging lately.
Oh, yeah?
This thing called AG1, and you probably have to edit that out. I might get a cease and assist for that part, but sorry. Thanks so much for having me. Thanks for doing this thing. You've always been so supportive of me playing and everybody else around here playing, and it means a lot. You do a lot for the music community around here, so I really appreciate it.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you doing this. It's always cool getting to catch up with a bud, and but yeah, I love you, man, and I'm really excited for you. So I'm excited to see what's next for Nick Gusman, the Coyotes, and everything. So
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, get involved, find a show, come on out and party with us, and have a good time. But yeah, man. Thanks, Jeremy. Thanks, Garrett. Thanks everybody.
Thank you, sir.
Oh yeah. All right. Bye, everybody.
See you.
You want to do a quick intro?
Yeah.
Again? However you want to do that. You know the deal. All you, man.
All right. Are you tired of taking a bunch of multivitamins during the day? Try AG1. Sorry. This is Rock Paper. This is Garrett Rongey, and this is Rock Paper Podcast.
You want to do one more?
Yeah. Sorry. This is Garrett Rongey, and you're listening to Rock Paper Podcast.